Having a goal is like standing on one side of a river and seeing the other side where you want to be. You can stare at it all day, imagine what it will be like, dream about reaching it, but without a bridge, you will never get there. That bridge is action. Action is what connects your current reality to the life you desire. Without it, your goals remain distant visions, beautiful in theory, but inaccessible in practice. Many people set ambitious goals. They want to start a business, or write a book, get fit, or improve their relationships. But goals alone are meaningless if they aren't paired with consistent, intentional action. Writing down a goal or visualizing it in your mind might give you a temporary boost of motivation, but unless you take concrete steps toward it, it will stay just a dream. Action turns ideas into results. Every successful person, from entrepreneurs to athletes, from artists to leaders, knows this. They didn't simply hope their goals would manifest. They worked tirelessly, step by step, toward making them real. They understood that even the smallest action, repeated consistently, builds momentum. A single step forward might feel insignificant, but when you take that step every day, it eventually leads to extraordinary progress. Think about it this way: your goal is a destination. Your action is the vehicle. Without driving, you won't reach where you want to go. Without putting your plans into motion, your dreams remain just thoughts floating in your mind. The more you act, the more you learn, the more you adapt, and the closer you get to reality. Action doesn't just bring results. It transforms you along the way, shaping your mindset, your skills, and your confidence. Many people wait for perfect conditions or for inspiration to strike, thinking that's when action will be meaningful. But the truth is, action creates momentum, and momentum creates results. Waiting, wishing, or planning without doing is a trap that keeps you stagnant. Every goal, no matter how big or small, requires you to step onto the bridge of action. So remember, goals are the vision, but action is the bridge. And to cross from dreaming to achieving, to turn ideas into results, you must move your body, your mind, and your habits toward what you want. Every action you take, no matter how small, is a plank in that bridge, bringing your goals closer and closer to reality. Having a goal is like standing on one side of a river and seeing the other side where you want to be. You can stare at it all day, imagine what it will be like, dream about reaching it, but without a bridge, you will never get there. That bridge is action. Action is what connects your current reality to the life you desire. Without it, your goals remain distant visions, beautiful in theory, but inaccessible in practice. Many people set ambitious goals. They want to start a business, or write a book, get fit, or improve their relationships. But goals alone are meaningless if they aren't paired with consistent, intentional action. Writing down a goal or visualizing it in your mind might give you a temporary boost of motivation, but unless you take concrete steps toward it, it will stay just a dream. Action turns ideas into results. Every successful person, from entrepreneurs to athletes, from artists to leaders, knows this. They didn't simply hope their goals would manifest. They worked tirelessly, step by step, toward making them real. They understood that even the smallest action, repeated consistently, builds momentum. A single step forward might feel insignificant, but when you take that step every day, it eventually leads to extraordinary progress. Think about it this way: your goal is a destination. Your action is the vehicle. Without driving, you won't reach where you want to go. Without putting your plans into motion, your dreams remain just thoughts floating in your mind. The more you act, the more you learn, the more you adapt, and the closer you get to reality. Action doesn't just bring results. It transforms you along the way, shaping your mindset, your skills, and your confidence. Many people wait for perfect conditions or for inspiration to strike, thinking that's when action will be meaningful. But the truth is, action creates momentum, and momentum creates results. Waiting, wishing, or planning without doing is a trap that keeps you stagnant. Every goal, no matter how big or small, requires you to step onto the bridge of action. So remember, goals are the vision, but action is the bridge. And to cross from dreaming to achieving, to turn ideas into results, you must move your body, your mind, and your habits toward what you want. Every action you take, no matter how small, is a plank in that bridge, bringing your goals closer and closer to reality. Procrastination is one of the most dangerous habits that silently robs people of their dreams. It disguises itself as comfort, rest, or even strategy, but in reality, it is the enemy of achievement. Every time you delay taking action, every time you push your goals to later, you are slowly eroding your potential. The truth is, the more you procrastinate, the further you drift from the life you imagine. We often convince ourselves with excuses. I'll start next week. I need more time to prepare, or I'm just waiting for the right motivation. But these are just illusions. Motivation is fleeting, and perfect conditions rarely appear. If you wait for everything to align, you will never start. Every day wasted is a day your potential remains untapped. Every moment spent avoiding action is a moment your dreams stay out of reach. Think about the opportunities you've lost in the past because you delayed, moments where you could have learned, grown, or moved closer to your goals. Those lost moments never return. Procrastination doesn't just delay action, it erodes confidence and creates regret. The longer you wait, the heavier the burden of what could have been becomes. The antidote to procrastination is immediate action, no matter how small. Even a tiny step forward is infinitely more valuable than waiting for the perfect plan or ideal circumstances. Start today, even if it's imperfect, because momentum builds when you act, and momentum is the key to unlocking potential. Every successful person you admire has faced the temptation to delay, yet they chose action instead. That choice, repeated over time, is what transformed them from ordinary dreamers into achievers. Procrastination is a thief. It steals time, opportunity, and the life you could have lived. The power to reclaim your potential lies in your willingness to act right now rather than later. The moment you move from hesitation to action, you awaken the potential that has been dormant within you. A fear is something we all experience. It's a natural part of stepping out of our comfort zone and reaching for something greater. Fear tells you to stay safe, to avoid risk, and to stick with what's familiar. But fear is not a stop sign. It's a signal. It shows you where growth lies, where opportunity waits, and where your comfort zone ends. The problem is not fear itself. The problem is letting it control your actions. Many people let fear dictate their lives. They fear failure, rejection, criticism, or even success. And because of this, they hesitate, overthink, and ultimately do nothing. But here's the truth. Fear is not a permanent wall. It is a barrier you can overcome through action, preparation, and persistence. The people who achieve greatness are not fearless. They are simply courageous in spite of fear. Think about every great accomplishment in history. Every innovation, every invention, every milestone was achieved by someone who faced fear and acted anyway. The first person to step on the moon felt fear. Every entrepreneur who starts a business feels fear. Every artist who puts their work into the world feels fear. What sets them apart is that they didn't let fear stop them. They let fear guide them toward action. Fear often exaggerates the risks and underestimates your ability to handle challenges. It tells you that failure is catastrophic, when in reality, failure is a teacher, a stepping stone, and an essential part of growth. Every time you face fear and take action despite it, you strengthen your courage muscle and expand the boundaries of what you believe is possible. So if fear is holding you back, remember this: fear is not your enemy. In fact, it is a natural barrier that signals growth. It is not permanent, and it can be overcome. The only way to defeat it is to act, to move forward despite discomfort, and to refuse to let hesitation control your destiny. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is action in spite of it. Many people underestimate the power of small, consistent actions. They think that in order to achieve something big, they need to take massive, dramatic steps all at once. But the truth is, success is rarely built in giant leaps. It's built through consistent, small actions taken over time. These small actions may seem insignificant in the moment, but they compound, grow, and create results that are far greater than you could imagine. Think of it like planting a tree. You don't plant a seed today and expect a fully grown tree tomorrow. You water it, care for it, and nurture it daily. Over time, it grows roots, develops branches, and eventually bears fruit. The same principle applies to your goals. Every small effort, repeated consistently, is like a seed that grows into massive success. Writing a page a day builds a book. Exercising for 15 minutes a day builds a strong body. Saving a little money regularly builds financial freedom. Consistency creates momentum. Momentum is what transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. When you take action daily, even if it's small, you're building habits, strengthening your skills, and gradually moving closer to your goal. It's not about perfection. It's about showing up day after day, trusting that the compounding effect will work in your favor. Many people give up too soon because they don't see immediate results. They forget that growth and progress are often invisible at first. Just because you don't see massive change in a week or a month doesn't mean your efforts are wasted. Compounding works silently, steadily, and powerfully. The key is patience and consistency. Keep taking those small steps, and the results will multiply over time. Even the most successful people started with small, consistent actions. They didn't wait for motivation to strike or for the perfect opportunity. They simply showed up, did the work, and trusted the process. Their secret wasn't genius, it was consistency. So remember this: no action is too small, no effort is wasted. Each step forward, repeated consistently, compounds into something far greater than you could achieve overnight. Success is not an event, it's a process of small actions executed consistently over time. One of the biggest mistakes people make on the path to success is wasting energy on things they cannot control. They stress over circumstances, other people's opinions, the economy, or events outside their influence. The more you focus on what you cannot control, the more frustrated, anxious, and stuck you become. The key to progress and fulfillment is to focus on what is within your power to change. Your time, your effort, your mindset, and your decisions are all things you can control. Every action you take, every choice you make shapes your reality. When you direct your energy toward what you can influence, you become empowered. You stop feeling like a victim and start feeling like a creator. This shift in focus transforms stress into productivity, worry into action, and fear into confidence. Consider successful people in any field. They didn't waste energy complaining about obstacles or circumstances beyond their control. They concentrated on improving their skills, showing up consistently, making better decisions, and finding solutions where others saw only problems. This focus on controllable factors is what separates those who achieve from those who remain stuck in frustration and regret. Focusing on what you can control also allows you to take ownership of your life. Instead of blaming others or waiting for change, you act, you plan, you adapt, you improve. You are no longer dependent on luck or chance because you understand that your consistent actions are what truly move you forward. When life throws challenges your way, and it will, remember that while you cannot always control the situation, you can control your response. You can control your attitude, your effort, your resilience, and your willingness to keep moving. That is where true power lies. Wasting time and energy on things beyond your control is not just unproductive, it is a distraction from the very actions that can create meaningful change. So focus your energy, your time, and your effort on what you can control. Work on improving yourself. taking action and shaping your choices. This focus is not only productive, it is liberating. It frees you from unnecessary stress and allows you to channel all your energy toward the things that actually make a difference in your life. One of the biggest misconceptions about success is that it happens without struggle. Many people believe that those who achieve great things are somehow immune to failure, that their path was smooth and effortless. But the truth is, failure is not the opposite of success. It is a crucial part of it. Every successful person has failed multiple times. Every innovator, entrepreneur, athlete, and leader has faced setbacks, made mistakes, and encountered obstacles. What separates achievers from dreamers is not they never failed. It's that they refuse to let failure stop them. Failure is a teacher. It shows you what doesn't work, what needs improvement, and where your weaknesses lie. Instead of seeing failure as a personal defeat, you must see it as valuable feedback on your journey. Every time you fail and learn, you gain experience that moves you closer to your goals. It's through failure that you build resilience, creativity, and problem-solving skills. Many people fear failure so much that they avoid action altogether. They stay in their comfort zones, choosing safety over growth. But the reality is, avoiding failure is actually sabotaging your potential. Every day you delay action to avoid making mistakes is a day lost, a day closer to regret. The key is not to avoid failure, but to embrace it as part of the process. Think about every great achievement in history. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Michael Jordan missed countless shots before becoming one of the greatest basketball players of all time. J.K. Rowling faced numerous rejections before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. Their secret wasn't perfection. It was persistence, learning, and action despite failure. Failure also strengthens character. It teaches patience, humility, and perseverance. It forces you to evaluate your strategies, rethink your approach, and come back stronger. Each failure you experience is a stepping stone guiding you toward the path that will eventually lead to success. So remember, this failure is inevitable, but it is not final. It is part of the process of achieving your dreams. The difference between those who succeed and those who quit is that successful people see failure as a temporary setback, not a permanent defeat. They fail, learn, adapt, and continue moving forward, understanding that every failure brings them closer to their ultimate goal. Many people spend their lives blaming their circumstances for why they haven't achieved their goals. They say things like, I would be successful if only I had more money. I would start my business if life were easier. Or I could reach my goals if I weren't dealing with so many challenges. But here's the truth. Circumstances are never the real barrier. Your response to them is. Life will always throw challenges your way, but blaming them keeps you stuck in the same place while the world moves forward. Circumstances are beyond your control. You cannot change the past, and you cannot dictate every situation in your life. What you can control is how you respond. So successful people don't wait for perfect circumstances. They create solutions, adapt, and take responsibility for their actions. They understand that your mindset, effort, and resilience are far more powerful than any external condition. Blaming circumstances is an easy way out. It feels safe because it shifts responsibility away from you. But the cost is enormous. Every excuse you make is a moment you give up your power. Every time you blame the world, you are telling yourself that your dreams are dependent on luck or external factors rather than your own action. This mindset is the silent killer of potential and progress. The key to breaking free from this trap is ownership. Take responsibility for your life, your choices, and your results. Accept that life is not perfect, but you have the ability to act within whatever conditions you face. History is full of people who turned adversity into opportunity. They didn't wait for ideal conditions. They adapted, innovated, and worked relentlessly despite the odds. Your circumstances do not define you, your actions do. You can use challenges as excuses or as fuel. You can let obstacles stop you or let them teach you and push you forward. The choice is yours. When you stop blaming circumstances, you reclaim control over your life. You shift from being a passive victim to an active creator of your future. So stop pointing fingers, stop waiting for conditions to be perfect, and stop believing that life is holding you back. The power to change your reality is in your hands, and it always has been. One of the most powerful principles for achieving success is understanding that your energy follows your focus. Where you place your attention is where your results will manifest. If your mind is constantly occupied with doubts, distractions, or negativity, your energy will be scattered and your progress will be slow. But when you focus intentionally on your goals, your efforts, your growth, and your actions, your energy compounds and propels you forward. Many people let their attention drift to things that don't serve them, complaints about circumstances, envy of others, social media distractions, or fear of failure. These things drain energy, create inertia, and keep them stuck in the same place. On the other hand, focusing on actionable steps, self-improvement, meaningful goals channels your energy into productivity and progress. Attention is like a laser. Wherever it points, the energy intensifies. Think of it like this. Imagine trying to light a candle with sunlight. If the light is diffused in every direction, it won't create enough heat to ignite anything. But if you focus sunlight through a magnifying glass onto a single point, fire is inevitable. The same principle applies to your life. Focused attention generates results. The more you direct your energy toward meaningful action, the faster your goals are achieved. Successful people are masters of attention. They don't waste time worrying about what cannot be changed or comparing themselves to others. Instead, they focus on what matters most: their skills, their growth, their actions, and their vision. This intentional focus allows them to maximize their energy and achieve results that most people only dream about. The key is to be deliberate about where you place your attention. Every hour spent fixating on distractions is an hour lost. Every thought you nurture shapes your behavior. If you constantly dwell on obstacles, fear, or excuses, your energy will reinforce stagnation. But if you focus on solutions, steps forward, and positive action, your energy becomes a powerful force that moves you closer to your goals. So remember this: your energy is precious and it follows your attention. To achieve your dreams, you must focus on what matters, act on your priorities, and dedicate your energy to growth and action. Where your attention goes, your results will follow. One of the most critical steps in turning dreams into reality is setting clear, actionable goals. A goal without clarity is like trying to navigate a ship without a compass. You may be moving, but you don't know if you're heading in the right direction. Clear goals provide focus, direction, and purpose. They give you a roadmap showing exactly where to go and what steps to take to get there. Without them, your actions are scattered, inconsistent, and often ineffective. Many people have ambitions, but they are vague. They say things like, I want to be successful, or I want to get in shape, or I want to earn more money. While these are intentions, they are not actionable goals. Actionable goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, often referred to as SMART goals. Instead of saying, I want to get fit, a clear goal would be, I will exercise for 30 minutes 5 times a week for the next 3 months. This kind of specificity transforms a vague wish into a tangible plan. Actionable goals also help you break down big ambitions into manageable steps. Trying to achieve a massive goal all at once is overwhelming and often paralyzing. But when you define clear milestones and actionable steps, progress becomes measurable and achievable. Each completed step builds confidence, momentum, and motivation. It turns a distant dream into a series of achievable tasks that you can tackle every day. Clear goals also act as a filter for your energy and attention. When you know exactly what you are aiming for, you can focus your time, effort, and resources on actions that actually move you forward. Distractions fade because your priorities are defined. Your actions become intentional rather than reactive. You are no longer drifting through life. You are moving purposefully toward a defined destination. Finally, actionable goals make it easier to track progress and adjust your strategy. When you measure your results, you can see what's working and what's not. This feedback loop is essential for growth because it allows you to learn, adapt, and improve continually. Without clear goals, you cannot evaluate progress, and without evaluation, improvement becomes impossible. So remember this: vague wishes lead to inaction, but clear, actionable goals lead to progress and results. By defining exactly what you want and breaking into specific steps, you create a path from dreaming to doing, from wishing to achieving. Ladies and gentlemen, we have talked about dreams, goals, action, fear, failure, and the power of focus. We've explored how small steps, consistent effort, and courage in the face of uncertainty can transform your life. But now it all comes down to one simple truth: nothing will change in your life until you decide to act. Wishing alone will never bring you success. Thinking about your dreams won't make them real. The life you want, the career, the health, the freedom, the happiness is waiting for you on the other side of action. It is waiting for the steps you take today, for the courage you summon right now, and for the commitment you make to yourself to stop waiting and start doing. Every moment you hesitate, every day you delay is a moment your dreams are slipping further away. But the power is in your hands. You have the ability to start. You have the strength to move forward. You have everything you need to take the first step, and the moment you do, momentum begins. One small action leads to another. One decision to try leads to progress. One commitment to yourself leads to transformation. So I challenge you today: stop wishing, stop waiting, and start doing. Don't let fear, doubt, or perfection hold you back. Don't wait for the perfect time, because it will never come. Take control of your life, focus on what you can do, and move relentlessly toward your goals. The life you imagine is not impossible. It is waiting for you to take action. Your dreams are not illusions. They are blueprints for the future you are capable of creating. Today, right now, make the choice to act. Make the choice to move. Make the choice to transform your wishes into reality. Remember this: action beats wishing every single time. Stop hoping. Stop dreaming. Stop imagining. Start doing. And your life will never be the same.